Welcome back, guys. Been a little while since an update, and again I'm going to apologize right now in case you hear the air conditioner or anything else at the moment, because it's a little warm here, and unfortunately my desk is pretty close to the air conditioner, but I hope my noise filtering is getting rid of that. Also, the in-game slash background sounds may be a little loud, because I can't hear them right now. They're separated from me, so when I record this, hopefully I've guessed at the balance correctly, so that you guys can still hear what's going on from the game and me, and not get blown away. In the background there, that's the old sub model. I'm sure that that's been seen before. But what you have right in your face with this ugly text here is a kind of like a selection indicator. And right now I have text at the top. I might get rid of that, but it gives you when it's live, this is actually in the editor right now. It'll give the name, right now, the debug name and the system of the object selected. It'll show the shields, and it'll show the HP that's left, but not for your units. It would be for the target unit that you last clicked as a target. So I have a client running already, so I'm just going to fire up a server here. And, ooh, why was there a save? That's interesting. Okay, hopefully it's not too much of a difference. Might just because I spun the camera around. So let's fire up the server. Okay, server's running. I'm going to maximize the server here. Oh, whoops. I gotta hop back out. I need to host and then wait for the other fella to join. There we go. Now I can run the server. I'm going to maximize this here, and I'm going to shut off the borders crawl, and did that on the other. I'm just over on the client right now. On the client, I'm going to move some ships into an area that we can see. So if you see those guys right there, I just told them to come in from the client, and these are my current player ships. Now, since you guys last saw this, you may have remembered that I had a key that you could just hit the home and it would go to your home base, except now it also selects it. Now, I can, there's only 3 options right now, but we'll be able to change the unit that's selected there. Middle mouse wheel controls how far your altitude, let's say, and your altitude is also changes proportionally how fast your movement over the train is. So if you're higher up, you move a little quicker, and that was something that Jim pointed out last time we played. But what I'm going to do here, so I'm just going to do something that's only available in the dev mode, which is hold down shift and spawn 10 of something, and I'm going to bring them in right there and tell them to come right there, and then I'm going to hop over to the client's version, and I'm going to do the same thing over there. Oh, wow, the client is loud. I don't know why the client is louder. Let me just have a look here. Oh, because it had its own volume mix. Let me just adjust that. Okay, hopefully that didn't blow you guys all away. And I'm going to bring in the client's boats. Yeah, things that got updated. I'm pretty sure I did a video of the fact that these corvettes are slightly different than these corvettes. These are just generic ones. These ones here actually have missiles as well as a deck gun. So corvettes have 2 weapons. Let's get right in close here. If you notice, the old, or the standard Corvette that I first made has 2 ridiculously huge guns. And, oh, the particles are working today. That's good. I forgot to turn them back on. But these guys have a missile launcher in the back, which is just currently the missile object. I didn't actually post a missile gun or any a missile launcher object yet. I should probably make a launcher box. It's exactly the same missile that the sub fires. It's just this missile has different stats. Now, oops, we went underwater. Okay, so we're close enough now that we could see this next thing. If I take one of these guys and I target one of them, we get the new targeting indicator, but thankfully we're not in range, because if I check ranges, you see this fellow here, his range stops at about here. So these guys can't quite hit each other yet. I'm going to turn that debug overlay off, but if I bring them close, oh, see, we're in range there for the for the missile to go and do damage, but it's actually now showing the live damage on the unit that we would have seen down here for our selected units. Now, I'm going to go to this one here, and I'm going to tell him to shoot back. Oh, he's only got a deck gun, so let's move in one of his buddies. There. It's a little... Now we got some missiles here. And he only has deck guns, so I'm going to get him to move. Okay, now his back deck gun is also shooting. That shooting image for the guns is only temporary, that yellow spike. Oh! Well, 2 versus 1, I guess. But, the ability to blow each other up and the sounds, I think you guys saw that in the other one. The bases can blow each other up now, and the base units, these guys actually have 3 missiles. So if you come over here, actually I'll just push H. These guys have 3 missile launchers hidden around the platform, and they have 2 deck guns to protect them. They still move the same old way. They don't click move yet, so you can drive them around and whatever you need. But eventually, instead of them moving with keyboard keys like that is right now, I'm going to turn them to be mouse click driven like the others. When I hit tab, you cycle through your units, and it actually selects them. If you see for a split second, the selection target will appear over the one that you've tabbed to. And I just got to do a quick hiding trick for that. But if we wanted to do a win situation, actually don't have them all move there, let's just have them erase the... Oh, he was my boat. There's a nearby set of enemies down here, so let's have them target that. And you see now the sub's in range before the little corvettes are, because the sub has better missiles. Now the missile corvettes will come in close, and this guy isn't going to last very long, but we can see clearly the health of the target unit. And this is done by a render texture, which means right now there's another screen that's hidden, like a little window that's hidden in the game, and that's being redrawn. And instead of being drawn and put up to the screen that we see, it goes to a texture, and that allows me to use it as a texture on different items. So you can see the little smoke puffs from anywhere that a Corvette sits for any length of time. So we're just going to get rid of the other AI player here. And we're going to take them out. Hopefully those sounds are the same volume as they are for me. They're just there. Hopefully they're not blowing you guys away, because they're altitude dependent, right? So, or proximity dependent. So if I was closer, they'd be quite loud. Let's get rid of this. Whoa, that was quite loud. Yeah, these guys aren't going to last very long. Now I have to watch too, because these deck guns can they get clipped by friendly fire. So what that means is if they shoot through a friendly unit, the bullet doesn't really do anything, but I don't have friendly fire doing damage to friendly units. I never built that. So I'm just going to erase all my opponents here and see if we can trigger the win condition, because that was something that I did that it should be working. So let's come out a little bit so the missiles aren't as loud. You still see the odd deck gun fires. Oh yeah, they all fire pretty quick now. A lot of these ones in the back are probably triggering friendly clipping, and I have not put in the code to stop the ones in the back from attempting to fire when there's a friendly in. But the way it's set now is if they raycast and hit an object, and that object is an opponent, it does damage. If not, it does nothing. So the friendly fire protection is sort of automatic when I run it that way. And when I kill that last boat here, I'm going to try and take out just the target cube because it's irrelevant, but just take it out. When we take out this boat here, there won't be much left but a win condition. Now, to fully trigger the win condition, we're going to need to see what happens when a base gets blown up. These guys aren't currently assigned. Like the rig I'm still working on, I'm just going to zoom down right quick. I'm still working on the oil rig here. It's got some parts that have to be put on and some textures fixed. That's just the temporary first texture. And the frigate/destroyer level units, I have to work on them as well. But we're just going to take our sub and our corvettes. Oh, also the subs will eventually dive because I did get the navigation mesh updated. So I'm going to be able to create like a second layer just below the surface where the subs will be able to go down to. So here we have the base. That's the other base. Actually, I just realized that's the first time I attempted clicking on the other on another player avatar objects, because that's the way the bases work. So if you see that funny number, that's actually the unique identifier to this network player. So I'm going to have to mask that, use the player's text name rather than their net ID. So other guy is about to go boom. Now when he goes boom, actually I'm going to zoom out. When he goes boom, he should make a random amount of explosions, and it should be a random explosion set chosen, and it should be like boom boom boom, but it's going to do them all at once because I haven't put any time in them. But you see it did like a spread. Now and there we go. What happens is, if you have a unit left, or if you have your base left, obviously you're still in the game, and then it comes up with this. Now there's going to be an option a little bit later that's slightly different than this, and I'm going to fix this end screen. So I'm just going to hop over to the there, and it takes you back to the lobby, and the lobby doesn't recenter. So, but there, I could rehost a game right now, and the other player could just click join, and the other guy would be back, and we could be playing. But anyhow, that's where it's at so far. I'm just going to shut them down now. If we look in here, that's the thing that I was just talking about working on. It is a, let's get down to the bottom here. Oh, it's hiding. Oh yeah, it's at the top now. Oops, I moved it around the other day. This information viewport is actually a separate scene, but I have it in as a child of this one. And those are the things that build out these parts. So there's the label, the texture is the background, the main texture of the background. Now I might change it so that the borders aren't so thick or strong. And then you have the little shield, and then the HP bars, and they're controlled by a script that is on the actual object. The object you see in this scene is a quad that is set to billboard mode to always face the camera, so it always points at the camera. If you see I look around, the quad always points at the camera, and the script on that is really simple, and then it just holds the minimum of what it needs to do to update itself. It's kind of a dumb object. It just does what it's told, and depending on how you select it, the selection process tells it what to do. Now, I put its updating in the physics process because that locks it down to in the 60 frames per second range maximum. Otherwise, it could go nuts and waste a lot of resource. In fact, I might even take this refresh timer, because if you see here, this happens every visual frame, and physics frame too. Sorry. That places it on the object that it should be on, so you don't really see it as moving. Even though the target could move, it will just follow it on the screen. But to update the info, I have that to set every 200 milliseconds here. So yeah, that's that. There's been a whole bunch of other things that I've added in. Most of it is just bugs that have been killed. I have a to-do list. I ended up, just to quick go over this here, the camera needed to move faster when zoomed out. We got that done. The camera zooms with the mouse wheel now. Debug spawn purposes. Yeah, actually I showed that. You can hold down shift and make it poop out 10 times any unit that was clicked. That will only be in debug mode or dev mode. Add no-go zones under the land. That was fixed when I fixed the way that the nav mesh works. You don't have to use, this is actually kind of an important thing I might do a separate video on, you don't have to use Godot's nav mesh generator. You can import any mesh that's a surface, like a single surface kind of mesh, as a nav mesh, and so that means I could take where I made the level in Blender, I could take the area that I wanted to be traversable, flatten it, and turn it into a navigation mesh, and be in full control of where units can and can't go by where I create or move or adjust the polygon surfaces, where I put the quads or whatever. So yeah, this also, the buffer around land had to be fixed. 7, point the ship towards the heading on creation. That was a small bug. It was a visual bug. It's still a tiny touch of it exists, but it would not be corrected by disable the collisions, because when I did that, the ships all just fall down to the bottom of the ocean. So we were going to disable them for a split second, but the problem is that allows the ships to drop right through into the bottom, so that couldn't be done. So what I do again, I do a quick short move call with any ships. This is only affects ships that were previously in the scene when the scene loaded. This doesn't affect the ships that you make live in game. It's only the ones that the level comes preloaded with, right? Now we come down to double click on a unit to select all of that type. Ooh, I forgot to show that. Let me just do this. I have no idea how long we're running now. Hope we're not running too long, but I can fire up, works in single player mode here too. I'm just going to hit tab to jump to unit. It's selected. Now that's a standard Corvette, so if I click his buddy, you can see I can click them. But if I was to double click them, now I've selected all the standard Corvettes. And if I select the base, do that trick where I make a 10 units. So you can drag select, you can select everybody, but what if I just wanted special Corvettes? If I just randomly double click in the mass, you can see I get one. Click again. If I click the second one, then I got them all. That doesn't work for targeting, and I don't think I'm going to apply that to the targeting. I only have one sub, but go up here and make a sub. So there's the one sub down here. Click them again, then I got both, or just this one. Oh, I forgot to double click. No. So you see I've got them both and then not. And then that would work up here too. I could click him, and if I quickly wanted to get all of my subs, just click them a second time. There we go. I don't have it limited to the screen rect. I might do that, but right now I have it to your entire command, so whether they're on screen or not. Anyhow, that was that. So the double clicking worked. I still have some tricks to do to make the movement a little bit better. Okay, like trying to get what looks like formations for moving. Oh, I did. Oh, we got that done. Wow. Okay. Well, let's just move that up to done. Forgot to mark that as done. That's another thing done. We just watched that right now. That's what this video is mostly about, showing the user health of selected enemy ship. Now I've got move the boats, and sounds are crazy loud. Yeah, I don't have in-game volume controls for the options, so that's got to be made. Guns and missiles can't auto-lock. Actually, they can, but it's not a mode that the user can turn on yet. So what I have to do is I have to link the state machine that controls how the guns, each individual gun and units are working, to something that the user can quickly control, right? Then we come down to here. The boats are way too light and how they react to the world. I think this may already be done, but because I think it's related to this. Boat needs to avoid collision, not just push away from each other. They have a function on them. It does, if anybody's looked at Boids before, B-O-I-D-S, Boids, in Boid motion or autonomous motion in games, there's a page that shows it, and it's kind of an old page. It shows it in vector explanations and vector diagrams, but you can either make everything move away from a common point or move together and that kind of stuff, and in flocking algorithms. And what I have is the simple disperse, like the move away. What I need to do is clip that moving if the boat is going somewhere it kind of shouldn't, like before. If you watch the other videos, it goes up on land. Let's quickly save that. Yeah. Oh, here you go. Look at that. I forgot I put that there. How perfect. Steering and flocking. specifically into this link right here from GDC 99. Wow. But some of the site has missing little animations, but you don't really need those. This particular page has the graphics of kind of like the vector recipe. So if you can look at an image and see how the vectors are and figure out how your engine uses that, that'll help you. So again, the reference right there is that. So I'm going to actually probably put that in the video in case you guys can't type that down or whatever. Anyhow, oh yeah, and I still see that in my thing here, I'm still getting some, see, this is the start of it, I'm still getting some text pushed out that I'm going to have to figure out what things I left turned on. Yeah, menu spawn sub, that's fine, but I'm going to have to figure out where I use those. I think that's in my unit card display thing. Anyhow, again, if you're used to this, the debugger fills up with these warnings and it counts warnings kind of as errors, and then it's because the warnings keep going. Eventually it'll just say it got rid of them. It actually makes an error. Oh, yeah, this is also for things that had spawned on remote, so not to worry about that so much. It doesn't actually, this error is not a game halter. Just this particular error, if you see it, look at failed. That can happen sometimes when you're telling an object to look at the point that it's already sitting on. It doesn't stop the engine, it just has a hissy fit, and there's no way to tell it to ignore that I've come across yet. Anyhow, that's where we're at. I've got a few things here to kill. Now I'm going to try to finish those before I add anything new. So there's some things I want to add new, but I'm not going to get into them right now because my current focus is getting all this stuff done. And this was stuff that came up during the last playtest. So anyhow, I'm sure this video is running terribly long, and if you watched it this far, thanks for watching, and hopefully this stuff was interesting for you. If you have any questions or that, don't forget to don't forget to like and subscribe. I was going to say, don't hesitate to put them down below. I'll probably get to them. I'm a little busy now at work. The next little while, I've changed positions at work. Same job, different positions, so it's actually technically a different job. But anyhow, I will keep working on this. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.